Wherever you're watching from around the world, the UK, the Americas, Asia, Africa or Australia, welcome to Melbourne and to Telstra Dome. This is the Hyundai A-League Grand Final 2007. Two clubs from two states who have as intense a rivalry as any in the country, Victoria and South Australia. It's Melbourne Victory versus Adelaide United. The title of Champions of Australia is the prize. Well, this is a rivalry that ignited back in October when Adelaide coach John Kosmina grabbed Melbourne's Kevin Muscat around the throat, and it positively combusted in December when Robbie Bayic and Grant Brebner received red cards at Hindmarsh. Melbourne and Sydney may be the glamour game of the A-League, but as one reporter quipped this week, this fixture is the stuff of it. Well, it's equally hot off the field today in Melbourne, temperatures nudging 38 degrees. The roof is partially closed to give the players some shade, and this has definitely been the hottest ticket in town this week. All available seats sold within 2 hours of going on sale. FFA officials admitting this game may even have filled the 96,000 capacity MCG down the road.
The national anthem of Australia.
The anthem sung with great gusto by Tyrone Noonan. He's used to the big occasion. He plays with his Brisbane band George at big events and venues all over the country. That's a shot of John Kosmina, the Adelaide United coach, of course. He's not on the touchline for the big events. He's got a seat up in the stand courtesy of a 5-game suspension for saying one or two things he shouldn't do to referee Matthew Breeze after the victory over the Jets on penalties last weekend. The biggest and arguably best group of fans in the land roared their approval of the national anthem, and the vast majority today will be hoping to roar the home team on to victory. Attendances in the city have been the story of Season 2 in the A-League. Today's crowd, incidentally, will leave Melbourne with a final average of over 30,000, a figure that wouldn't look out of place in Europe. Adelaide, of course, shifted 4,000 tickets for the hop over the state border as the two teams line up for the photographs. Just some indications of the history for you. Melbourne has a proud football past. South Melbourne, Melbourne Knights and Brunswick, of course, all lifted silverware in the old competition. South Australia has lifted it through Adelaide City and West Adelaide in the past as well. Quick check on the two-team lineups. Melbourne in a 4-4-2 shape. They're unchanged. That's thanks to Grant Brebner passing a late fitness test. Christian Sarkis, therefore, drops down to the bench. Adrian Leyer is fine as well after his midweek jaunt up into Asia. Mark Burns misses out altogether. Adelaide a 4-4-2 as well, although they normally play a diamond in midfield. We'll see how that pans out. Matthew Kemp is the only change, of course. He's suspended. Greg Owens plays at left-back. It's thought by Kosmina that he offers more in an attacking sense than either Adam Van Dommel or Aaron Golding. Jason Spaniolo is on the bench. And talking of the bench, these are the Melbourne replacements. Eugene Galekovic, the reserve goalkeeper, Christian Sarkis, Alessandro, the Brazilian, James Robinson, the young English striker, and Lee Broxham, who's a midfielder. The Adelaide bench: Robbie Bayich, Christian Rees, Aaron Golding, the aforementioned Jason Spaniolo and Bruce Gitta. Referee today, as he was last year in the grand final, is Mark Shield of Brisbane, and in front of 56,000, we're all set for the off. Well, this is where it all began in Season 2 of the A-League, when Melbourne beat Adelaide 2-0 just down the road at Olympic Park. This is where it will end tonight in the cauldron that is the Telstra Dome. And of course, the Heats may have a factor to play, especially as Adelaide United had such a tough encounter last weekend.
Well, it could certainly play a role. But I think the way the two sides set themselves up, very interesting. Greg Owens preferred from Adam Van Dommel in the left-back position. I think that's because with their system, Melbourne 4-4-2, the Brazilian Fred starts on the right-hand side, but he comes and drifts behind the front two strikers and opens up a bit of a laneway, if you want, down that right-hand or left-hand side for Adelaide United. So I think that's why Greg Owens starts. I think it's a good move from John Cosmina.
Now this is Nathan Burns running at pace, taking on Simon Storey. And almost in behind for a moment. Goal kick is the first decision Mark Shield makes. Nathan Burns, who's been labelled Australia's next Harry Kewell, and one or two clubs in Europe, no doubt, who are having a look at this prodigious young talent. He's joint top scorer this season with 6 for Adelaide, and already it's said on the fringe of full national honours.
They're not playing in his place that he prefers, playing wide on the left-hand side. Of course, he will tuck in, and again, that maybe will give space for Greg Owens on the ball now to get forward a lot more than, say, Adam Van Dommel would have.
Now this is Adrian Caceres. Now Fred, who drifts around from right to left, finding Archie Thompson, and Beltrame is called into action for the first time and does well.
Well, it's a wonderful cross from Archie Thompson. Shows his pace. Adelaide caught a little bit square early on. Caceres very close to getting in on the end of that.
Well, it's normally feisty between these two, and Kevin Muscat is normally involved. That was a late challenge on Diego, the Brazilian. And the first man Mark Shield has to speak to is, guess who?
Well, he's certainly late. Catches him on the ankle. Kevin Muscat will have worked out that Diego, who plays at the top of a diamond, Ross Aloisi at the bottom of it. Here's a little bit the playmaker for Adelaide United, and he's just given him a big welcome to the grand final. And he's struggling. I'm sure he's going to be okay. But both sides really playing lopsided. The natural width for Adelaide comes from Travis Dodd on the right-hand side. Nathan Burns will have a tendency to tuck in on the left-hand side and open up the space for Greg Owens from left back. And on the other hand, Melbourne Victory talked about Fred, who will come in off the right-hand side and play in behind at times in that inside channel behind Allsop and Archie Thompson. But it's up to Caceres to give them some natural width and balance on the left-hand side.
There is Fred, or Helbert Federico Carrera da Silva, to give him his full name. Fred's a bit more Australian.
Well, Fred's a lot easier for me.
And me. Diego's back up on his feet, rather gingerly, it has to be said. Here, of course, is another Brazilian who said he couldn't sleep after the major semi-final loss so late on in the game a couple of weeks ago at this venue. That's a good play by Michael Theophletos, arguably the standout goalkeeper in the league this season.
Yeah, it's a good one for the nerves as well, isn't it? First ball he's had to deal with, he does so superbly.
Good touch by Archie Thompson. Trying to find Caceres. Richie Alagic just watches the ball behind. There's the blue and white brigade, the noisy Melbourne faithful behind the goal. And there's maybe half a suggestion. That just glanced off the hand of Richie Alagic there.
Yeah, but I think Caceres maybe gave him a nudge in the back, and I think you'd find that the ball hadn't gone out. Mark Shield, the easy decision to give a goal kick. It would have been a foul on Richie Alagic from Caceres.
This is Alagic to take the throw in. who coincidentally gave away a penalty in round 1 of this season's A-League competition against Melbourne Victory.
I think he fouled Alessandro from memory.
He did indeed. Melbourne, incidentally, have won 2 of the 3 league meetings in the regular home and away season. Well, out of the 12 meetings overall, it's Adelaide who had the edge with 6 wins, 3 draws and 3 defeats. And here's Danny Allsop using his pace and his power. Well, he's won his team a free kick.
That's wonderful play from Danny Allsop. Had one thing in his mind when he picked up the ball in his own half, and that was to attack Greg Owens. Of course, Greg Owens better going forward than really defensively. Went around 2 players there, and in the end commits the foul, and it's a dangerous situation for Adelaide to contend with.
Well, the Melbourne Victory supporters are ready to bounce up and down. It's the Adelaide fans behind the opposite goal, to which the team in blue is attacking. Will this provide the first chance of the grand final? It's drilled in and it's over the top off an Adelaide head.
And I think that came off Fernando. Whipped in with pace from Caceres with the left foot. Maybe didn't angle it quite as much as he would have liked. He's hit it flat. And Fernando there at the near post. Well, striker coming back defending always is a bit of a worry for the coach, but I guess he got it high enough.
Simon Story on corner kick duty. It's in towards Muscat at the near post. Ross Aloisi has taken a blow to the face and may need some treatment.
As Kevin Muscat, it's a rehearsed move from Melbourne Victory from the corner. Muscat shapes to go far post and then comes into the near post and they try and find him. I think he come in there, and I think as the ball was headed away, I think there was some contact with Muscat and Aloisi. We've seen that before, but as the ball broke to Nathan Burns, Steve Pantelides giving away a needless foul. Burns was not going anywhere. Here's the ball, Aloisi heads it. And it's just, well, maybe a small follow-through. I think it's more of an accident than anything else.
Well, there's no doubt there was contact between some part of Muscat's leg or hip and Aloisi's face, but how intentional it was.
No, I think he's going across for the ball. I think he's going for the ball, Kevin Muscat. Aloisi has dived low, and I think he's just caught him.
Well, this is not what John Cosmina wants to see, with less than 8 minutes on the watch. His captain, who's lying in a crumpled heap, although as we watch this replay, he is back up on his feet, if a little groggy.
Well, they're great mates off the park, but we've had a few tussles here. There was a yellow card given to Kevin Muscat for a late challenge in the major semi-final.
Funnily enough, the two were at a press conference. I think it might be the tooth, actually, of Ross Aloisi that's causing him some discomfort. Now it's Adrian Leia who's given away the free kick. The two were at a press conference this week, the skippers, Aloisi and Muscat. And it ended in hugs and smiles all round, because, of course, they played at international level together. Muscat was Aloisi's captain, but no love lost on the park.
Free kick here, Fernando on the ball. It's pretty clear that he's the one that's going to hit it. Certainly worth a shot in this sort of distance. Is a fair way out.
It is Fernando, and it's away by Adrian Leia. Costanzo. He's been in rare form, incidentally, at the back for Adelaide. That's one example as to why. So cool and calm on the ball, Angelo Costanzo. Aloisi, who's none the worse for wear. Finds Travis Dodd, who's very tightly marked by Steve Pantelides. Melbourne have it back through Muscat, who slides it through, and there's danger here for Adelaide. And Valkanis is across superbly to concede the corner.
Yeah, great tackle from Michael Valkanis. Needed to time it perfectly, and he did.
Archie Thompson, 10 goals for Ernie Merrick's team this season, but interestingly enough, not against Adelaide United. Never scored against the team from South Australia. Said this week he was very anxious to put that right. Story's corner. Now, was that a handball? The appeals weren't too convincing from the Melbourne players, and it finds Diego. Touched by Owens. And the momentum of that counter-attack from Adelaide rather broke down on halfway. Good tackle by Fred. Dodd wins it back though. Alagic onside. Theoklitos close. Now, was this a handball? No. Brebner.
That's good play from Adelaide. I felt in the major semi-final, the last 20 minutes, they set back too deep. Sat right back on their 18-yard box. And really, eventually, that's how the goal comes about. A lot of ball possession to Melbourne victory. And in the end, a free kick, the ball that bounced the wrong way. And they got a dramatic winner. Here, they're pressing higher up the pitch. It's sitting back too deep.
Now Caceres with virtually the first real shot in anger. No real cause for alarm for Beltrame. Travis Dodd climbing above Pantelides. And Theoklitos has set Caceres going again. He's beyond Alagic. Good run by Caceres, and it's too much on it for Danny Allsop.
Oh, they'd both come to near post. Archie Thompson and Danny Allsop. It's good wing play from Caceres, getting outside his man. Quite often in that major semi as well, going back to that, he came inside all the time. This time he goes outside of Alagic, whips this one across, and you see there Archie Thompson central, and Danny Allsop came to the near post. He needed one to peel to the back post.
Well, he does offer them that different option and width, does Caceres. Now there's a real chance for Adelaide. That was a mistake from Adrian Leia, which he acknowledges to his goalkeeper. And Carl Weerts, the grand old man of grand finals, was not too far away.
Well, they saw Theoklitos had come out to around the penalty spot. Bad pass from Leia, and he was backpedaling, and Carl Weerts going for the chip. Fortunately for him, really didn't have enough power in it, and was certainly off target.
Down the line for Diego. Bit of a rock and maul with Rodrigo Vargas. Two men with South American backgrounds. Vargas was born in Santiago, Chile. Diego, the Brazilian. Caceres, lovely 1-2 with Thompson. It's Caceres the danger man at the moment. Off the backside though of Costanzo. Now it's Adelaide in the shape of Fernando. And Muscat was being held.
Smart play from Kevin Muscat. Once he got across Fernando, he won the free kick, just hesitating a bit, waiting for Fernando to bump into the back of him. It's experience.
Good work by Nathan Burns. Now Weerts. Almost broke for Fernando. Pantelides finds Caceres. Thompson takes over. Brebner and Fred help out, and the latter was being held by his compatriot.
It's an easy one for Mark Shield, and they do have a problem when Fred comes across from that right-hand side. Aloisi is really the only natural defender as a defensive midfielder. Diego, much more an attacking midfielder, and of course the wide players, Burns, is certainly not his favourite place is not in the midfield. Travis Dodd. So when Fred comes in there, and of course you've already got Brebner and Muscat, it does cause them a lot of problems, Adelaide. It's up to those wide midfielders and Diego to come back and help Aloisi out.
Such a blow for John Cosmina to be without Matthew Kemp today. He's been outstanding at left back. Much of his attacking skills is his defensive work.
Yeah, I guess it's more heart-wrenching really for him to miss out on such a massive game when really it wasn't a yellow card. The challenge, he clearly got the ball, and unfortunately there's no recourse for appealing a yellow card.
There is Matthew Kemp. Never nice to miss out on a grand final. Here's Owens with the free kick. Might break for Nathan Birds. Oh, missed it altogether, and then the second follow-up. You might get a third go. Well, Melbourne survive somehow. Now Fernando with the audacious little chip. It seemed that they wanted to give Nathan Burns as many attempts as he wanted.
What a chance, what a great chance.
Now Caceres at the other end. Adelaide back in numbers. It was a body check by Greg Owens. And it's a free kick right on the edge of the box for the victory.
Well, what a chance at the other end for Adelaide United. Nathan Burns, a complete air swing the first chance, and then he got another two bites at it. One's a great save from Theoklitos. Here's the air swing, and he gets lucky as Brebner turns his back. That's a good save, down low to his right-hand side, and then it's a block, I think, from Adrian Leia, and Melbourne get off the hook. Last chance came to Fernando, who didn't get enough power. Here's Caceres at the other end. A little bit lucky, probably is a foul, but you come inside where there was bodies. Archie Thompson made a inside to outside run, was a better option.
Now Muscat directing operations. Caceres with the left boot. Wall does its job. And there's some holding by both Fernando and Fred. Caceres. Alegic didn't get the ball, hence the whistle. Just couldn't quite thread it through. Now Carl Beard. Owens. He was naturally right-footed, so his instinct is to cut inside. Now Danny Olsson just stands up. Well, he's just been sensational in the final series for Adelaide.
Well, what a game he had last weekend, particularly when I think back to that second half of extra time. He just won everything that came through. And he has this gift of timing his tackles perfectly. There was another example. It's also an example of what you don't want to do. Danny Olsson, don't let him turn on you. He has got pace and he gets momentum going. It's very difficult to stop.
Here is Adelaide's very own divine ponytail, Angelo Costanzo. Diego spotted the pace of Travis Dodd.
Oh, it was quick, Travis Dodd, but he's not that quick. Just really run out of options there, Diego, and Travis Dodd is struggling to get into the game. Marked there by Steve Pantelides. I do really feel that he is a key figure for Adelaide. But he needs service.
approaching the 20-minute mark. Deadlock still to be broken. Maybe this is the chance. Fred through. Archie Thompson! Goal! Ball's over the line. Mark Shield has signalled the goal. And Archie Thompson, the man who never scored against Adelaide, puts that statistic right on the big stage.
Well, the referee's assistant flagged it straight away. Archie Thompson with the outside of his right boot. It hits the post. He was well found by Fred. What a great first touch. That's what sets up the goal. Adelaide fell asleep. Costanzo had his arm raised in the air, calling for the offside. Ernie Merrick still hasn't smiled. It's just ahead of the ball's helped through by Grant Brebner. He's definitely onside, but what about the first touch from Brebner? From Fred, sorry. That's what sets up the goal. The ball's definitely over the line as Costanzo tries to hook it away. Archie Thompson on the score sheet. What about the first touch from Fred? Archie Thompson onto the post. Melbourne take the lead.
Fred and Thompson, how many times have those two combined this season? It's goal number 11 of the campaign for Archie Thompson, and it's first blood to the victory in the grand final. Right on the 20-minute mark.
Well, in what has been a cage opening as Ross Aloisi gets a yellow card for a challenge on Fred. He's not happy about it. Kevin Muscat gets involved. You'd have to say in the opening 20 minutes, Melbourne had made slightly the better start. They looked more dangerous. Aloisi, frustration. Comes in late on Fred. Studs went up, maybe a touch harsh for Aloisi. Mark Shield right there on the spot. And what about that first touch from Fred? Finding the pass to Archie Thompson. Wonderful stuff.
It's Ross Aloisi's fifth card of the season, and 3 of them have come against the victory. That's how intense this rivalry is. Well, John Kosmina had hinted that his team, which has taken the lead in its past 2 finals games, have tended to sit back after going in front. They can't do that now. Got to come out and play.
Sorry, Simon. Interesting to note as well that the goal comes from that right-hand side where Greg Owens is playing. I know he's more attack-minded than defensive, but Fred had ghosted him behind. And as the ball was helped on by Grant Brebner, found himself unmarked. Good first touch, finds Archie Thompson, goal.
Well, can Greg Owens perhaps make amends with a decent delivery from this set piece? Adelaide stung by that Archie Thompson opener. Well, Theocritus didn't quite get there. Hooked away by Brebner. Now Birds. Infield for Nathan Burns, bit of space to attack. Fernando. It's comfortable enough for Simon Story. Now Fred. Skips past Diego on a second challenge, but luckily perhaps. There's space here on the left for Caceres.
Wonderful play from Fred.
Muscat. Maybe thought about the shot there, Kevin Muscat.
That's a difficult ball, the one he's tried to play in the end. Danny Allsop had just pulled off the shoulder in between Valkanis and Greg Owens. Here's the pass from Fred to Archie Thompson, outside of the right foot, hits the post. He knows it's gone over. It clearly did go over. Referee's assistant right on the spot, flagged straight away.
Caceres again trying to get in behind Alagic, which has been a constant tactic by Melbourne. Confirmation, number 11 of the campaign. Not sure he'll win any awards for his haircuts, Archie Thompson, but he's popular enough amongst the home faithful.
I've heard in a few hairdressers around Melbourne that you can actually get the Archie Thompson, they call it, put it on their boards. I think it's $25.
Cheap at half the price. Lovely 1-2 between Thompson and Brebner. And Canis alive to the danger.
That's where they've had some joy, haven't they, Melbourne? Down both flanks. The goal comes from the inside right channel, but they've had a bit of joy down this side. This time it's Archie Thompson pulling into the left-hand channel. The Caceres has had a few times where he's got into promising positions down there.
Pantelides. Now Brebner. Graham Brebner, who played in a Scottish Cup final during his time with Dundee United. He lost that one. So he'll be eager to make amends. Injury or no injury.
Well, he nearly missed this one through injury, didn't he? Had a fitness test before the game. Quite extended one as well.
Now Thompson. Support arriving now for the victory. Still Archie Thompson. Still Archie Thompson. Oh, is that a penalty? Well,
I thought he should have pulled the trigger.
Well, will Adelaide make them pay? Carl Veart, the space opened up for Travis Dodd on the right. Here's Dodd, it could be one apiece. And how did Melbourne survive that? Surely the wrong option chosen by Travis Dodd.
I think his first touch didn't help him. But back to Archie Thompson, who cuts inside. He rides one challenge from Owens. There's the contact from Costanzo. Mark Shields right there. I think he's lost the ball. I think he should have pulled the trigger before that. But what about this? It's his first touch. It's too heavy. Travis Dodd. He's trying to find Fernando. Roddy Vargas perfectly positioned. His first touch is good. He goes for goal on his own.
Aloisi helps on Alagic's throw. Thompson, that will be a foul. Well, he's been a live wire, hasn't he, Archie Thompson? Would you believe, on a day that's been so hot and humid, we've now got almost torrential rain inside Telstra Dome. Should grease up the surface a wee bit, though. Let the ball zip around. Fernando's touch. Too much on it though for Veart. This is Allsop. Very simple 1-2 with Fred. And this is where Melbourne are dangerous. Allsop running at pace. Fred on the outside. Fred in. Archie Thompson! Sensational goal for the victory. And they've doubled their money in the grand final.
What a wonderful piece of football. Again, it's down the right-hand side as Greg Owens gets caught forward. They're away, but what they do well is they're away with pace. Danny Allsop, the overlapping run from Fred. Archie Thompson, beautiful run to the near post. Look at Allsop, he holds it up, picks the right time. Had to be first-time pass from Fred, it was, and Archie Thompson with a left-footed finish this time. Wonderful stuff from Melbourne.
This is what it means on the victory bench. They know that even at this early stage, a 2-goal cushion. Well, they're starting dreaming about trophies and medals. Although, there's still no smile from the coach.
What's that left-hand side? You have to say, the suspension to Matthew Kemp has cost Adelaide in this first half. Gamble playing Greg Owens out there, a more attacking left back, and say Adam Van Dommel, who would have been much more defensive, because that's really where both goals have come from, more so the second one. But it was a quick counter-attack and executed with pace and precision. And again, the assist from Fred.
Well, that's not the best ball in from Richie Alagic. And Telstra Dome is not only a sea of blue, but it's a wall of noise. And this is the man who sent them into early celebration mode. Archie Thompson.
They just got on the wrong side of... Well, they got on the right side from his point of view of Richie Allegich. It was a wonderful pass from Fred. It had to be first time, and it had to be precise, and it was.
Well, they had such a miserable spell with PSV Eindhoven towards the end of last season, but he's showing his full array of skills now, including that little backflip for Caceres. Here is Thompson. Now Brebner trying to side-foot it home, and Beltrame makes the save.
I think it's quite a comfortable save in the end. Grant Brebner just allowing the ball to come across his body, and he's going for that far post. Archie Thompson involved in everything. Here he opens himself up. Beltrame quite comfortable, but he had to deal with it, and he dealt with it, he did, with his left hand.
Well, Adelaide's in danger of being swamped here in the rain at Telstra Dome. They've got to hang on, they've got to keep their focus, they've got to keep a toehold in the game. The victory are rampant. That was Leia's header. And it's a goal kick.
And Leia saying it comes off Costanzo last. The ball in again by Fred. He might have had a case. But Melbourne up the tempo, didn't they? When they break, they've got so much pace with Allsop and Thompson. And Fred, ever the creator.
Well, John Cosmina sat high up in the stands, impassive, as is his opposite number, Ernie Merrick. They've had lots of words this week to say to each other, about each other. As Theoklitos feels that one as easy as taking a catch in the slips.
Diego just strike little back lift, didn't have a lot of time to hit it. Take an awkward bounce, Theoklitos dealt with it well.
Well, interesting to observe the two coaches this week. It's like watching Bjorn Borg against John McEnroe at times. A quiet one against the abrasive one. Here's Thompson, free again. Adelaide in real trouble here. Allsop swings at the ball and misses. Thompson gets in ahead of Beltrame. And eventually Mark Shield blows up for an infringement.
Well, I think it's offside in the end as Danny Allsop takes a swing. Mishits his shot. I think Archie Thompson was offside on that play. But again, they got him behind, didn't they? This time behind Richie Allegich. Right-hand side, Archie Thompson again causing all the damage. There's the mishit. And Archie Thompson is drifting into an offside position. The referee's assistant on the far side. Got that one right.
Nothing's coming off for Adelaide at the moment. This is Muscat. Now Thompson.
Well, look at the midfield there. See, they're just outnumbering. Most of the time it's Aloisi. Nathan Burns comes back, but it's too late.
Now Brebner's been caught very late, and Ross Aloisi, well, he's already been booked, and it goes from bad to worse for Adelaide United. They're 2-0 down, and now they've lost their captain for a second yellow.
Well, he's fired up, but it's a silly thing to do for a player of such great experience as John Cosmina. You can feel it slipping away as early as the 34th minute. Aloisi knows he's had a yellow card. He comes in late there on Brebner. I mean, it's not a simply dirty challenge, but it's enough. It's late.
It's a foolish challenge.
It's a foolish challenge, and a player of such experience in a big match like this, 2-0 down, you need your captain to keep his sang-froid. He doesn't. Adelaide go to 10. 2-0 down. It's a long way back.
And not for the first time this season. The man involved with Adelaide makes an early exit through the tunnel and has to walk the gauntlet of abuse from the Melbourne Victory fans. Well, that's unfortunate for Adelaide because it was a tough enough task as it was. And it's just become a mountain.
Well, it's unfortunate for the spectacle as well because it's, well, of course it's possible, and we've seen teams with 10 do it, but gee, 2-0 down, it's a ramp at Melbourne. It's going to be a tough ask.
Another poor ball by Allegich. Fred Trying to find Alsop. Costanzo. Brings the ball out from defence. Fair shoulder challenge. It's bounced off Bredner.
Oh, what a shame. After a great run, Ange Costanzo just too heavy with the pass, and there's a little bit of afters, and I need to be careful, Adelaide. Angelo Costanzo and Muscat tangling in the midfield.
Well, I'm not sure there was a huge amount in that, I had to say. Certainly Ange Costanzo didn't think so. Surely Kevin Muscat's not becoming a diver, is he?
Well, Kevin Muscat just doesn't need to get involved. Side's 2-0 up. Adelaide are down to 10 men. Of course, this match going to the UK. A lot of our viewers in the UK know Kevin Muscat very well.
And those who have longer memories in East Anglia in England may well remember Angelo Costanzo, who had a trial at Norwich City back in 2000. Now Travis Dodds. He's done well to keep that in play, but Pantelides kept pace with him. Fred's ball, Alsop through for Caceres, too heavy. Of course, talking of Kevin Muscat, he actually played alongside Carl Veert of Adelaide when they were at Crystal Palace together a few years ago now. Volcanis. Touched by Burns for Diego. Travis Dodds, but he's being very effectively shackled by Steve Pantelides. This is Fred. Thompson just checked his run. He stayed onside. Also wants it first time in the middle. And it was played just behind the Melbourne number 9. That's a goal kick.
Well, just behind him, but what about the challenge from Costanzo? They got caught square, Adelaide. Again, it's on that right-hand side. The ball back, it's just behind Alsop, but Costanzo was well back covering. Maybe an argument there, Danny Alsop for a corner. I think he might be right. With Cosmina just reorganising his side, Fernando's playing up on his own now. Carl Veert has pretty much taken Aloisi's role in the base of, oh, if it is a diamond now, really in midfield. I think it's just a flat four with Fernando up on his own. So Diego and Carl Veert in the midfield.
Travis Dodd. He's drifted in field to try and get a sniff of the ball. Pantelides has gone with him. Costanzo. Diego's ball, finding Nathan Burns.
It's too narrow, isn't it? Adelaide, you needed Nathan Burns maybe just to keep his width there. Everyone can come inside. Played into Melbourne's hands. That's where there were numbers inside.
Muscat. Oh, lovely ball from Muscat. Thompson again. Archie Thompson! 3-0. And maybe that will bring the championship to Melbourne. Archie Thompson has a hat-trick. He'll take the match ball and possibly Melbourne the trophy itself.
Well, it's a great finish in the end, but it's poor defending. Even with 10 men, they get caught square again. The danger is central, and I think they get stretched. He gets in between Valkanis and Greg Owens. It's a nice little ball in. He comes in. Carl Veert commits himself. He comes inside, finishes it with his left foot. Good finish. Here we see Fred again, the creator, comes back to Muscat. Archie Thompson makes it that run. Valkanis stays too wide. Carl Veert falls for the dummy, finishes it with his left foot, 3-0.
Well, Adelaide have simply been blown away, and isn't Archie Thompson enjoying his afternoon? As are they. 3-0, still 5 minutes to go before the break. Adelaide down to 10. It would surely take a miracle for those people dressed in red to be smiling come the end of the game.
Well, it's not going to happen, is it? You would think, even at this stage, it might be damage limitation. 3-0, 10 men. Not only that, the confidence is down, the heads are down. John Kosmina is not going to be happy with his captain. Ross Aloisi's had a good season. He's played a lot more defensively this season possibly than last season. But to lose his cool when you'd already had a yellow card, his team 2-0 down, they needed their captain. Now they need a miracle.
Ernie needs more of the same. We notice that John Kosmina, as we take a slight break whilst Rodrigo Vargas gets some attention, has started warming up Aaron Golding on the sidelines. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of smoke on the pitch as well. Those flares that just won't go away. There's Aaron Golding, incidentally. It's only one flare that's been lit behind the goal, but you can see it's left a plume of smoke.
Well, I remember round 18, I think was the last time they'd won before the major semi-final win over Adelaide. Melbourne victory, and we asked the question, didn't we? Did they have bounce-back ability? And they've certainly shown they've had it.
Now Brebner is again caught slightly late by Viet. This is Danny Allsop. Fred sets off on a run through the middle. Now Diego for Adelaide. They've just been really flattened by the Melbourne steamroller in this first half. Caceres, another gorgeous pass. Also in the middle, comes off Valkanis. Got a hopeful punt, nothing more. Pantelides. Well, the throw-in has gone Adelaide's way. Surely that was a foul on Pantelides.
Well, certainly looked one. Talk about Adelaide and what they need to do now. 3-0 down, 10 men. I think they've got to obviously get to half-time without conceding anything. John Kosmina will be able to talk to them at half-time. They need to keep their shape. Of course, they need to use Travis Dodd, try and get him in more into the game. He's got the pace that can worry Melbourne, but they haven't used him at all in the first half.
Well, in fairness to Melbourne victory, Steve Pantelides hasn't allowed him to play. He's been absolutely sensational as the odd job man for Melbourne. He's a bit like Hugh Grant, isn't he, Steve Pantelides? He plays a variety of roles. And whatever he does, he looks the same. His performance always gets rave reviews. Final minute of the first half. It's been all Melbourne. And the noise is all Melbourne's.
Yeah, the cross there from Greg Owens. Probably not the right option. Crossing from a difficult position. Had an easier, simple ball just behind him. Half-time can't come quick enough for Adelaide. They have certainly lost their shape. Ernie Merrick looks on and, well, he doesn't smile, does he? But he must be smiling on the inside. Couldn't have dreamed of this. And we said that after the major semi-final, when they got the winner, Adelaide were only a minute away from hosting the grand final in Adelaide. Robinson popped up with the late winner for Melbourne to host this game here today. But we talked about the momentum going back to Melbourne with that late winner. It's certainly been evident today.
Calvert finding Dodd. Well, it was a half chance.
They didn't hit it really with any conviction. Set up nicely for him. Sort of half stabbed at it, harmlessly wide. Theoklitos hasn't been tested.
Michael Theoklitos, who used to sell biscuits before becoming a full-time professional footballer. But it's Adelaide who are going to have to pick up the crumbs at the break. Maybe there's just time for them to get a toehold, however tentative, in this grand final.
Well, we talk about big plays and big occasions. Archie Thompson stood up, hasn't he? A hat-trick in the grand final in the first half. Hasn't scored for a while. He showed his quality here today.
Now that's Ernie Merrick with a translator, Portuguese translator, I should say, for Fred, and of course Alessandro, who's on the bench, should he be required. Can this translate into a goal for Adelaide? Ange Costanzo into the wall. Greg Owens into the side. Hoardings. Well, Greg Owens has scored a few crackers this season. And he's playing out of position at left back today. It is astonishing, actually, how many clubs are playing without a recognised left-back in the Hyundai A-League. Matty Thompson at Newcastle. Damien Brown has been playing there for Central Coast. And, of course, Steve Pantelides at Melbourne. As the half-time whistle blows at Telstra Dome, it's been Archie Thompson's half. It's been Melbourne's half. It's been a disaster for Adelaide United. They've got an absolute mountain to climb if they're to get back into this grand final. At the break at Telstra Dome, it's Melbourne victory with one hand on the trophy. They lead Adelaide by 3-0. Ernie Merrick makes of his team's performance. Let's find out. He's talking with Mike Cockrell.
Ernie Merrick, the perfect half of football.
It was great football, particularly from our 4 strikers. We really thought we'll have a go at them, get the ball up to Fred, Adrian Caceres, Archie and Daniel, and it's worth a treat.
2-0 can be a tricky scoreline. 3-0, does that take a little bit of the stress out of it for you?
No, I want them to push. I want more goals. I don't want them to let them off, and I want to close down every player in the opposition hard.
And just finally, Grant Brebner, any temptation to give him an early mark with this scoreline?
He'll be off soon.
Thanks very much, Ernie.
Thanks, Michael.
Confirmation of the scoreline. Melbourne victory, leading Adelaide by 3-0. I can tell you that Adelaide have made a change in the second half. It's the expected one as well. Aaron Golding is on and Greg Owens is off.
Well, it wasn't a happy grand final for Greg Owens. We know it's not his best position. He certainly was exposed on that side, and the gamble didn't pay off.
And Adelaide are exposed again here. Thompson looking for a fourth. It's back off the woodwork and over the top from Fred. And Daniel Beltrami, I can tell you, is screaming blue murder at his defenders.
Well, they come out second half and they get caught on the first Melbourne attack. Archie Thompson down the left-hand channel, so close to getting goal number 4 for not only himself but for Melbourne. Daniel Beltrami, the Adelaide keeper, absolutely filthy with his defence that got caught square again. Simon, you just have to wonder whether the 120 minutes last week in the penalty shootout has taken it out of this Adelaide side.
Well, this is not the Adelaide team that we know.
And I know they're 10 men now, but to be caught so many times square at the back, Valkanis and Costanzo, one of the best pairings in the Hyundai A-League. They look like at times they haven't known each other this afternoon or tonight.
Michael Valkanis in particular will not be enjoying this experience. It's his 6th finals campaign. He's yet to get a winner's medal. Doesn't look like he's going to do so either tonight. This grand final, I suppose you could say, is, from a spectacle point of view, turned into a bit of a damp squib. Talking of damp, the rain continues to fall, and as play continues, they're closing the roof at Telstra Dome, which should increase the atmosphere even further.
Well, for the neutral, it might have turned a bit damp, but certainly not for the Melbourne fans. Give credit where credit's due. They were 2-0 up before Ross Aloisi got sent off. It's sharp today.
More good work from Pantelides. Allsop loses out to Valkanis, who's taken over the captain's armband, incidentally, since Ross Aloisi's red card. Diego forced back by Muscat. Aimless by Aaron Golding. He's been short on first-team action, Aaron Golding. There's the roof, mid-closure. This is Nathan Burns. If ever Adelaide needed some inspiration from their young starlets, it's now. Here he is. He's made some space. Well, not a bad try from Nathan Burns.
Yeah, good effort taking on Simon Story, and Simon Story sticking to his task as well. Fairly happy, I guess, to bring Nathan Burns inside, and Theoklitos pretty happy for him to shoot from that sort of angle, but it's a good try from Burns. You need something like that. 10 men, 3-0 down. You can sneak one from somewhere. Might just make it a bit interesting.
Otherwise, it's going to be a very blue and white night for the Blue and White Brigade. Can't really say they're going to paint the town red. But you get the meaning. There's the man of the moment, Archie Thompson, whose hat-trick tonight, of course, has taken him past Danny Allsop in the seasonal scoring stakes. He now has 13. Pantelides. Thompson offside. Archie Thompson was complaining about. Header won by Roddy Vargas. Fernando's been a peripheral figure really for Adelaide. Normally such an influence on the team in red. They have to feel sorry for the I was going to say the supporters should change that to microphone. It's just been bowled over on the touchline. 4,000 Adelaide fans make a journey. Not too much from their team, plenty from this man though. Thompson slips it through, also, and then Fred with the follow-up, back off the woodwork again. The second time they've hit the frame of the goal in the second half, and Adelaide clinging on.
Oh, what a chance again. Again, Archie Thompson's the danger. They just carved them up down this right-hand side. Comes inside Belcanis, picks out Danny Allsop, takes it first time. Good save from Beltrame. Fred should score in the follow-up. Hits the post.
Grant Brebner. There's time on the pitch. Maybe coming towards a close, but it was the right idea to try and get Simon Story in behind. And that's won Melbourne a corner, despite the protestations of Golding.
They just got a little bit unlucky. Simon Story chasing the lost cause. Ball ricocheted. I think it did come off Golding last. 4 corners to 0 to Melbourne.
The rain is really sheeting down now at Telstradoe. Quite unbelievable after the heat and humidity of earlier on in the day. Story's ball in. Oh, it was met on the volley by Adrian Leyer, I think. Retrieved by Allsop. Leyer was leaning onto his mat.
Down to Calvert at the back post, Adrian Leyer, but he's the one who had the volley. He was headed away, possibly by Travis Dodd.
Nathan Burns. Pass was rather telegraphed there for Diego. Melbourne just quicker, smarter, more alert. They've been on top in more or less every department.
They're first to the ball, aren't they? The second balls. Interesting stat, I guess, at half-time was the possession wasn't a great deal in Melbourne's favour. It's because when they score Melbourne, they know they've got pace up front, so they just sit back, not too deep, but they sit nice and compact and they break with pace.
A bit of space for Burns. Golding on the overlap. And Theocritos drops gratefully on the ball. Rare sight of the ball for Fernando.
And this is where they break.
Olay. Well, a bit of joy to watch this season, the front three of the victory. Fred on your screen, and Thompson and Allsop have been two of the main profiteers from his build-up play. And if they are to win the grand final, no 3 players will have done more than those.
I always thought that firepower was their biggest plus in this grand final. The form of Costanzo and Belcanis has been outstanding, but not just one of them, there's 3, isn't there? You just mentioned the 3, Allsop, Thompson and Fred. Triangle magic.
Good anticipation by Costanzo.
And Archie Thompson very happy to win the Fox Sports Player of the Year. Maybe it's inspired him. 3 goals.
Now Golding. Simon Story. Just too easy. Now Fred. Melbourne will break with pace. 4 on 3. Thompson onside. This could be a 4th for Archie Thompson. That's it, surely, for Melbourne. They're singing in the rain at the Dome. And the trophy is heading for the victory cabinet.
Well, Lance Costanzo thinks it's offside. It must have been close, but the problem is there's no pressure on the ball. You can't push up if there's no pressure on the ball. Fred's coming through in midfield. There they make a decision to stand, but there's no pressure on Fred. Archie Thompson makes a diagonal run, and I think he's level. I think he's onside. It's close. After that, he goes around Daniel Beltrami. What an individual performance from Archie Thompson. 4 goals in the grand final. Again, the creator is Fred, and the executor is Archie Thompson.
Well, wonderful reactions from the Melbourne bench, I can tell you. Less so from the Adelaide players, who are filthy, particularly with the linesman on the near side. And 2 yellow cards have been issued whilst you've been watching the replays and the celebrations from Archie Thompson. I have to say, on the replays, I thought they might have had a case for offside. But Costanzo and Valkanis have been booked. And it's just a horror show for the team in red tonight.
Well, they certainly got a case. I thought it was level. I'd like to look at it again. Valkanis is filthy as well. He's got a yellow card. But really, they're playing with fire. When you're pushing up and there's no pressure on the ball carrier, which was Fred, I don't think you can push up, Simon. I think you're playing a dangerous game.
Well, it's a moot point, and it's one that Joel Cosmina will no doubt want to debate at some stage in the future, but his dreams of his team winning a first A-League title are surely died at the Telstra Dome now. He's going to make a change in a moment to bring on Bruce Gite. Well,
Mark Shield probably just saying, well, I have to go with my referee's assistant.
Well, it's for the back chat that yellow cards have been issued. Beard hooks it on. Fernando tries to get a piece of it, but it just won't go Adelaide's way.
John Cosmina getting Bruce Gite ready to come on. Fernando will come off. Fernando not having best of days, but he's more effective when he operates in behind the front man. Of course, he's had to take Calvert's position as the lone striker in the reshuffle formation when Aloisi went off. Calvert now back in midfield where Aloisi plays.
Now Melbourne are going to make a change as well. Grant Brebner, who's obviously still struggling with that injury, but what a great performance by the Scotsman, not just tonight, but all season, alongside Muscat in midfield. Lee Broxham is his replacement. Confirmation that Bruce Gite is on for Fernando for Adelaide. Archie Thompson, 4 goals tonight, and it's the first ever 4-goal salvo in the Hyundai A-League. Not a bad occasion to perform that feat for the first time. Maybe there's still more to come. Here's Fred. Skips around Aaron Golding as if he wasn't there. Way by Valkanis.
Great play again by Fred. Going past the defender. And the cross in. He's operated in that position perfectly today. Of course, he likes to tuck in, but when he has to, he's held his width. He plays on the right-hand side of midfield. There's a lot of speculation about Ernie Merrick's lineup. I think it's quite clear. When defending, it's a 4-4-2, and when attacking, it's exactly the same. All you have is Fred, who tucks in to the right inside channel. I guess there is a case of saying he plays in behind the front two, but I don't think he does. His starting position is always the right-hand side of midfield. And Archie Thompson, I would say, is going to be a clear favourite for man of the match, but probably rightfully so. 4 goals so far, I'd have to say. But Fred has been superb as well.
Well, to think some of the Victory fans were starting to question Ernie Merrick after that little bumpy run of form towards the end of the regular season. With the minor premiership, of course, already well and truly wrapped up.
Particularly after they lost 4-0 at Newcastle. And could have been more that night.
Now Burns. Adelaide now starting to get in each other's way. They just never got going, have they, Adelaide?
No, you don't want to make excuses, and of course there are none. It's a grand final. Had a week to prepare, but of course Melbourne had the week off. While Adelaide played Newcastle in an epic battle in Adelaide last week. The game went to extra time, to penalties. A week before that, they lost here to a late goal from Robinson as Edric Caceres goes off. So the guy I was just about to mention, James Robinson, scored that late winner in the major semi for Melbourne to host the grand final. Good game from Caceres, and very active. Gives Melbourne a nice balance on the left-hand side. But they've come back. And Melbourne gained momentum from that late victory.
Now, we told you there were lots of important people here today. Kevin Rudd in centre screen. Below him, Rod Kemp. I'm told that the Prime Minister himself, John Howard, was here today.
I wonder what coloured scarf he's got on.
You tell me. Now, maybe Adelaide can get one back here, but the flag's gone up. Nathan Burns won't count.
Oh, Adelaide have to keep it together here.
Well, our fans are baying for Mark Shields' blood. And the team in red can't believe it.
As Travis Dodd comes in, there's a little push there with Vargas. There's no foul there. And a finish from Nathan Burns.
Well, I wonder what John Howard made of that decision. Sat next to Frank Lowy, of course, the President of Football Federation Australia. Alexander Downer in picture as well. It's been a long time since such heavyweight dignitaries have been involved in a domestic club football match. More importantly, what was wrong with that goal? That's what Adelaide fans were asking.
Oh, it looked perfectly good to me. There was certainly no foul from Travis Dodd. When your luck's down, your luck's down.
Now Lee Broxham, chance to get involved. Thompson. Burns back helping out defensively.
What about there? Fred gets a yellow card. I think that's a bit harsh. He's chased it. We talk about, he's been fantastic today. 3 assists. Beautiful skills on the ball, the Brazilian. He gets a yellow card there, but I was just about to say, it's not only about his technical ability, Fred. It's about his willingness to work for the team as well. It comes in. It's a little bit soft for a yellow card. I don't think he'll mind that much. Must be one of the fittest teams in the whole league. One of the fittest players, sorry, Fred.
I'll be interested to see what he does on the beat test as Aaron Golding miscontrols. Simon Story does likewise. Incidentally, for history buffs, this scoreline equals the highest ever in a grand final, A-League or Old NSL. Back in 1980, Heidelberg thrashed the old Sydney City 4-0. So there's time yet for Melbourne to write another page of history. And it's been richly deserved. Ernie Merrick, who was lambasted by his own supporters last season after they finished 7th, the worst club in Australia. Only the New Zealand Knights were below them. And they've gone from 0 to heroes this year.
Yep, the board stood by him. And you have to say the tactical switch, bringing Muscat from right back into the centre of midfield, has been a masterstroke. There are other factors, of course. Danny Allsop's form Archie Thompson.
Now, was that half a smile from Ernie?
He would never admit it.
They will surely get a grin if they win. Likes to keep his emotion bottled up, this Ernie Merrick. Told me once he was emotionally stilted because he was Scottish. Don't believe that for a moment. Here's the corner for the victory. Over the top of Leia. Stands her away. Now Robertson. Young Englishman, and he's threaded it through, and the flag is up against Fred.
Another run deep from midfield, diagonal. This time the referee's assistant puts the flag up. Mind you, he did hesitate.
Well, you feel for Adelaide and their supporters, because there's still 23 minutes of this game to go. And they've come here in such big numbers, and hope and expectation, and they've just been quite literally bulldozed out of the way by Melbourne.
People should know, I guess, as well, to see the closed roof, which only enhances the atmosphere here, that Adelaide is very close to Melbourne. It's some trip for those away fans.
It's about 11 or 12 hours by road, isn't it? Maybe even a bit more than that.
They shouldn't take away from them. They've had another good season, Adelaide. They finished second. They're in the Asian Champions League. They've got that to look forward to. They're in the season after. Of course, beating Newcastle last week ensured that they would be in the next two versions of the Asian Champions League. So although it's a bit of doom and gloom here, they've still got a lot to look forward to. It's a bad challenge there from Calvert. Kevin Muscat gets up straight away.
Another yellow card. They're starting to rack up for Adelaide. But it's frustration. And Calvert, who's played in plenty of grand finals in the past, the old Adelaide City, and what a couple as well, does not like being on a losing team.
And Nathan Burns there, I think he's had what's been a difficult context, a decent match, and only a youngster. He's worked hard down the left-hand side. It's not his natural position.
Drilled across towards Alsop at the near post, and it looped up and over the top, fortuitously for Daniel Beltrame.
And there's Archie Thompson again. Well, he's on the right side, he's on the left side, he's everywhere. What a performance. Daniel Alsop coming into the near post. His front three have just really ripped Adelaide apart. Of course, they've won the midfield. So often you have to win that battle to win a game.
Calvert has just run out of pitch. There's going to be another change made by John Cosmina, or at least his assistant Aurelia Vidmar on the sideline. And well, we talked about Matthew Kemp being missed in the first half for Adelaide, but the injury to Jason Spaniolo was just as big, if not bigger, blow for Adelaide. He's not fit at all, Jason Spaniolo, but at least he'll get 20 minutes. There's Matthew Kemp up in the stands alongside his coach, and Spaniolo gets his first action in a month. Spaniolo, second in the league's assist list. Now Gite, Hornet loops up and over. Theoklitos hits the bar, and it'll be a corner.
Well, how dramatic is that? Spaniolo, you rightfully mentioned, he's been missed of the last 3 weeks. Beautiful interplay, and what this means, Spagnola comes onto the left side where he plays, gives him a better balance. Nathan Burns goes central where he prefers, and straight away they carve out a chance. Jite, beautiful little ball from Burns, good turn, deflection, gives him a corner.
Their first corner of the game in the 71st minute, which Nathan Burns will take. This is Aaron Golding. Needs a good delivery. Well, Canis is up there. Touched by Diego. Jite. Again, it's Melbourne who come away with the ball. Danny Allsop. Now Muscat. Robinson. Now Fred. Allsop darts towards the near post. Thompson! Well, the ball is just glued to his boots, and glued, it seems, to the back of the net. It's 5 for Archie Thompson and Melbourne.
Well, this game's going to a lot of places around the world. There might be a few clubs that are watching this performance from Archie Thompson. Wonderful play again from Fred. This time it's down the left-hand side. It's another assist. He gets a little bit luckier on this one. The build-up sort of lost its momentum. The ball went out to Robinson. Fred had already made a forward run. He's onside. There's a slight deflection. It comes to Archie Thompson on his left foot, dispatches it into the net. But here's Fred, makes the run, gets his head up. Look how he gets his head up. Great for youngsters watching. He knows exactly where Archie Thompson and Danny Allsop, must mention, who took people away at the near post. What an individual performance. 5 goals.
Even he can't believe it.
That is definitely a smile.
That's an early smile. I think maybe just his face is frozen in that particular configuration due to the wind tunnel behind him. Well, Archie Thompson, the man who holds, of course, the world record for 13 goals at international level. Australia against American Samoa back in 2001. Well, he's written another chapter tonight. Nobody's ever scored 5 in a grand final before. Individual or team.
Well, it's absolutely incredible.
Now confirmation of the crowd figure, 55,436. It's another new record. Melbourne have been setting them on and off the park all season. The biggest crowd ever for a club football game in Australia. Not quite the stadium record, but it's a massive crowd nonetheless. And the majority of them have enjoyed it.
It's been a wonderful performance. What an individual performance. Actually put two performances together. Fred, who's got now 4 assists, and Archie Thompson with 5 goals. And the 55,000 plus that are here have witnessed quite an extraordinary individual performance. A wonderful striker's performance, full of movement, full of pace, and more importantly, full of finishing. The highest order.
Now Fred manages to find Thompson. Allsop, this is Thompson. Now Danny Allsop, can he get on the score sheet? Perhaps he should have done.
Well, I think there was a challenge on him. To his credit, he didn't go down. And I think it just took him off balance. Archie Thompson turning provider. Look, he just drops into this gap between Carl Baird and Balcanis. He finds Allsop. I think he was just touched by Costanzo, stayed on his feet, left-footed shot, missed the target.
Here come Melbourne again. It's a blue tidal wave at the moment. James Robinson. And Fred was offside.
Well, Adelaide, they've got to find, they look very tired, but they've got to find some, oh, what energy. Because Melbourne look like they're going to add to their score.
Adelaide have got to regroup quickly, of course, because they're back in action on the 7th of March against Shandong Luneng of China, the Asian Champions League. Melbourne can go away and celebrate not just the championship, but also another new Australian record, an average crowd figure of the season of 31,000.
Adelaide have lost their shape. They look very tired. Two wide midfielders, Spagnola, but particularly Travis Dodd, not really coming back to help out. Melbourne breaking with numbers and with pace. I thought the wave had been outlawed.
Not in our sports. We like people to have fun. Perhaps understandably the Adelaide fans aren't too keen on joining in. Now Burns. Golding. Burns again. Well read by Vargas, who has been solid and steady throughout. And it's 3 against 3 again. It's Fred. Robinson left. Allsop right. Danny Allsop. Well, it just won't go in for Danny Allsop.
Oh, he'd love one, wouldn't he? Should have scored. Goes for the near post, trying to squeeze it in between the keeper, Beltrame, and the near post. Hits the outside of it. Again, Fred's the creator. He's so aware of what's going around him. He had the left or right option. I feel if he just lifts that and goes to the far post, he scores, Danny Allsop.
Well, it's the third time that Melbourne have hit the woodwork, as well as the avalanche of goals. It really could have been a cricket score.
And of course, Melbourne 5 goals up. They don't feel any tiredness. They're still full of running. Left back Steve Pantelides just making a run from the left back position to the left wing. Didn't get the ball, but it just shows it that they're so fresh. Had an extra week off. Already talked about Adelaide's 120 minutes plus penalties to get here against Newcastle. I mean, this is very hard to judge, Simon, because 2 goals down and you lose your captain. You go to 10 men with Fred and Archie Thompson well in the mood. They're always up against it.
Yeah, it's been a long night for John Cosmina's team. Of course, the coaches had to sit it out in the stands as well. Maybe just one hurdle too many for Adelaide. Of course, did win a trophy though this season, won the pre-season cup. A lot of people thought that was to blame for their poor start, because they travelled thousands of kilometres as Allsop marauded forward in search of his goal.
And they were just backpedaling. There's only 2 Adelaide players, sorry, 2 Melbourne players up there. Was Danny Allsop on the ball, Archie Thompson, 4 defenders for Adelaide. And they were backpedaling, looking very tired.
Now, threaded through looking for Fred, who of course would love to get in on the goal-scoring act himself. It's the final 10 minutes. Here's Jite. Well, a goal would be some consolation for the Adelaide supporters, if not the players. Bruce Jite has tried his best since coming off the bench. Congratulations to the travelling faithful. They've done their team and their state proud. What a slip by Adrian Leia. Story tidies up. Best pass though. Laid off in the direction of Nathan Burns, and Leia just sticks out a left boot and concedes a corner.
Well, we talked about the circumstances of this game. Ross Aloisi, the Adelaide captain, being sent off. Melbourne were already 2-0 up. Coming to the ground today, I don't think anyone could expect it. Just what we've witnessed here today.
Theoklatos with the punch. He wants a clean sheet. He stands over the volley. Off Alsop, another corner. I just wonder, it's one or two of Adelaide's players who are now in their early to mid-30s. Whether John Kosmina might think about bringing in a bit more new blood for next season. Another good punch by Theoklatos. Here's Carl Wirtz. He's another one with a big question mark against him, I suppose. That's another superb take from the goalkeeper.
Simon, I think Ross Aloisi there, if you look at his first yellow card, could have been a touch harsh, but even putting that aside, he knows he's had it, and that's what makes the second foul so stupid.
Play on, says Mark Shield. No handball against Broxham. I've got a couple of their young guns on the park now. James Robinson and Lee Broxham, who's been away with the Olyroos in Chinese Taipei this week. Now Jite, good body strength to hold off Adrian Leia. Too much support with him. Carl Wirtz. Oh, it's a good 35 metres out from goal.
Yeah, Theoklatos very happy to see Carl Wirtz pull the trigger from there, 35 metres out. It's going to have to be something special to beat Theoklatos from that sort of range. Carl Wirtz's side, he's probably thought, well, there's not much happening in front of him. Might as well take the shot. Well off target. Michael Valkanis looks on.
Yeah, seems as though Valkanis is destined to end up in football's Valhalla again. 6 final series and still no winner's medal. Golding's pass. Nathan Burns shimmies away from 2 defenders, but not Adrian Leia. Fred in a tangle with Aaron Golding. It loses out to Pantelides, and now Melbourne can break. Alsop, has he got the pace to get there ahead of Beltrame? No, is the answer.
Well, he got there, but it...
Now, dreadful clearance from Beltrame. And he's very, very lucky Robinson didn't slot away a 6th goal.
Yeah, he's hit it too hard, Robinson, but Beltrame was off his line quick to smother the danger from Danny Alsop. You know, shocking pass. I'm not sure who he's trying to find. Yeah, it's good work to there. All he found was Robinson. He really didn't hit it with enough conviction, did he?
Nathan Burns, who's been busy throughout the game, and then Jite, palmed over by Theoklatos.
Right, it's a good little move. And there you're seeing a little bit maybe of the future of Adelaide United. Nathan Burns to Bruce Gitte. Very unlucky not to score. Just opened himself out. He just hit it too straight. Right idea. I think he's trying to get this one into the right-hand top corner. Just doesn't curl it enough. A good little combination there from the youngsters from Adelaide.
Well, they've actually posed much more of a threat, haven't they, since the substitutions, and Spaniolo's introduction has helped as well. There's Diego, who's been kept very quiet. Golding's cross. Robinson's header. Now Melbourne will break again. Lee Broxham over the top. Fred gives up the chase. Well, I'm not surprised when you see Daniel Beltrame bearing down on you.
Yeah, it wasn't a good pass from Broxham. Should have been able to find Fred. Would have been clear one-on-one with Beltrame.
Chite lays it off for Diego. Corner ball. Well, Adelaide's playing with some pride for their supporters. To their credits, they're giving it their all as well. This is Golding. It's been a tough season for Adelaide, despite finishing second. With lots of ups and downs. Mario's arrival upset them as well. They've done ever so well to get to the grand final, but it's just not gone right for them at all this evening.
I guess what it gives for Melbourne now is they'll, of course, have qualified for the next Asian Champions League. Not the one coming up, the one after, so that's another thing to celebrate.
Now, the news from the sideline is that Archie Thompson is going to be taken off in a moment to be replaced by Christian Sarkis, which will give him the chance to have his well-deserved standing ovation, no doubt. Final little flip through the repertoire of skills. It really has been a thorn in Adelaide's side tonight.
I think the thing that stuck out in the second half is Melbourne's willingness to go and get more goals. Could have quite easily sat back on their lead, stroked the ball around against the 10 men, but they haven't. They've looked to break at every time the ball drops to them, they're off. Particularly Fred, Thompson, of course. This is one of the first times they've tried to play a little possession game.
Well, now is the moment the Melbourne fans can show their appreciation to the man who's literally won the grand final for them. Single-handedly. 5 fabulous goals. Take a bow, Archie.
What a marketing tool, not only for Melbourne but the whole Hyundai A-League. Melbourne fans rejoiced when he came back from PSV Eindhoven at the start of this season. And what a season he's had. He capped it off with, quite simply, the most dominant individual performance ever in any grand final.
And people doubted why he was Fox Sports Player of the Year. 3 minutes of additional time.
Well, there's been some great performances this season. Fred was very close. Nicky Carl, of course, had a wonderful season, particularly when Gary Van Egmond took over.
Well, Archie Thompson's doing his very own personal lap of honour at the moment. And well, he might. Big mates with Tim Cahill, of course, who wished him good luck before today. I'm sure even the Evertonian couldn't have imagined how well it would turn out for his pal. Even if he did steal his goal-scoring celebration routine.
I'd imagine we'll be talking to him at the end of the game.
Well, I think he just gave our secret away there. Well, it's countdown to party time in Melbourne. The scarves are being twirled above the heads. The blue and white brigade away to the right. The whole ground is getting ready to celebrate what, in all honesty, has been thoroughly deserved and earned over the last few months by Melbourne Victory. They've been the best club in the country by a long way. They've done things right off the park. And in less than 60 seconds, they will get their just reward. Maybe it's time for one final flourish. Sarkis, Christian Sarkis, that is perhaps the pick of the bunch. What a way to finish it at Telstra Dome. Brilliant. And it's 6 for the victory.
What a wonderful strike against the tired Adelaide defence, but take nothing away. And Ernie Merrick is smiling. He's even getting a hug from his chairman, Jeff Lord. I guess that means his job's safe next season. But what about the goal from Sarkis? He's cut inside his Adelaide defence, tiring, backpedaling. Michael Valkanis. Here's Sarkis, picks up the ball. Good run from Robertson around the back. He checks inside, goes for the far post. Beltrami, no chance. That's a wonderful strike from the youngster. Cuts inside, knows exactly what he wants to do, and executes it perfectly.
Well, Adelaide have been smashed. And please, Mark Shield, put them out of their misery. And let the party begin for Melbourne. Well, it's almost a full-blown laugh from Ernie Merrick. Now they can all smile. The final whistle blows. Victory is ours, proclaimed the banner made by the Blue and White Brigade. And now their premonition has come true. They've been the best off the field all season, and now they've proved it where it really matters. Melbourne, the football capital of Australia, and the champions of Australia. Well done to Ernie Merrick, well done to the players. They were sensational. Their fans were sensational, and they can savour this moment.
Well, what can you say? 6-0, 6 goals without reply. You have to go back to the key points in the game. Melbourne were already ahead 2-0 when Ross Aloisi was given his marching orders. The red card changed the play. Of course, Melbourne went on in a remarkable individual performance from Archie Thompson. They were too quick, had too much power for Adelaide, who I felt seemed to be affected. Very hot day in Melbourne, 38 degrees, but affected by the 120 minutes from last week. Melbourne were just too good.
Well, it's easy to forget that this club, much like Adelaide, is very young. It's only 2 years of age, Melbourne Victory. Credit must go to those early visionaries, most of whom, of course, are still involved. Gary Cole and Jeff Lord, the chairman, Tony Ising and Alan Rados, Glenn Wheatley, who put money up. But nobody expected this. Nobody expected crowds of 50,000. And nobody, I'm sure, in Adelaide expected a thumping like that.
Well, Melbourne fans, wow. What better way to cap off a phenomenal Hyundai A-League season than with this. brilliant grand final performance. On behalf of Football Federation Australia, please join me in thanking our grand final teams, Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory. Please extend a warm thanks to our match officials and to you, the fans, for being part of an Australian domestic crowd record of 55,436. Well, I'd like to introduce you to Football Federation Australia's official party, the Honourable John Howard, Prime Minister of Australia. Mr Frank Lowy, AC, FFA Chairman. Mr Steve Yeo, Hyundai Australia Chief Executive Officer. Ben Buckley, Football Federation Australia CEO. And Mr Joe Marston, Australian football icon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the movie business, sequels quite often don't live up to the original. But version 2 of the Hyundai A-League has seen bigger crowds, better games, and made brighter stars. And a large chunk of that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the phenomenal performance of the runaway premiers, Melbourne Victory, who are now champions. To Adelaide United, you have been brave. Not many will forget that extraordinary extra time then penalty shootout performance against Newcastle last week. Congratulations on your season. And if it's some consolation, you've got Asians Championship football awaiting. To Hyundai, Qantas, Telstra, Powerade, Zurich and Fox Sports, a big thank you for your ongoing support and belief in the Hyundai A-League. I'd now like to call up Football Federation Australia CEO, Mr Ben Buckley, to present our match officials with their medallions. Referee, Mark Shield. Assistant referees, Nathan Gibson and Ben Wilson. And the fourth official, Matthew Breeze. Ladies and gentlemen, the player of the grand final will receive the Joe Marston medal. And just a word on Joe Marston, an absolute icon of Australian football. He represented his country on 37 occasions and also played in the 1954 FA Cup final for Preston North End. Can you please welcome Mr. Joe Marston forward to present the player of the grand final medal too. Yep, you guessed it, Archie Thompson from Melbourne Victory. Archie, I just have one question. How many?
I made a prediction, a bold prediction this morning, that I would get 3 goals, and it's always been a joke between me and Christian and Danny that every match I'd score 3 goals, and it never happened. And what do you know, in a grand final, I didn't manage to get 3, I got 5, but it wasn't just me. I mean, I cannot take all the credit. I mean, the guys have been fantastic throughout the year, right through to the coaching staff. You know, also Fred, 4 assists tonight, I think. I also wanted to give Danny 1. He was so lucky, he's been great all year. But thank you so much, it's unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Joe Marston medalist, Archie Thompson. Frank Lowy will now present the runners-up medallions to our grand finalists, Adelaide United. But first, I would like to call upon their captain, Ross Aloisi, to the stage to say a few words. Please welcome Ross onto the stage.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Melbourne Victory on a wonderful game tonight. Unfortunately, the game was destroyed earlier on in the piece. To Kevin Muscat, he's been a champion all year and he's led his team into victory. All you guys has been great for the league as well. I'd like to say a special thanks to our supporters that have travelled all the way from Adelaide. They've been fantastic. To everyone in Adelaide, we're sorry for what happened today, but that's the way football goes. And hopefully we'll do better next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome onto the stage the entire Adelaide United FC. Daniel Beltrami, Richie Allegech, Christian Rees, Angelo Costanzo, Michael Valkanis, Lucas Pantelis, Carl Viet, Matthew Kemp, Fernando, Greg Owens, Travis Dodd, Aaron Goulding, Nathan Burns, Bobby Petter, Adam Van Gommel, Robert Cornthwaite, Robert Bayich, Jason Spagnuolo, Des Giraldi, Bruce Gite, Diego, and their trainer, Peter Duke, fitness coach, Nick Hadjikostas, their assistant coach, Aurelio Vidmar, and their coach, John Cosmina. Once again, commiserations to Adelaide United, but of some consolation you have Asian Champions League football awaiting you just around the corner. We wish you all the best for that. The Prime Minister, Mr. John Howard, will join me in congratulating Melbourne Victory and presenting them with their champions medals. But first, can you please welcome to the stage their captain, Kevin Muscat. Kevin, congratulations on an incredible season. What a year it's been.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous year, but I'd firstly like to thank Ross. Respect, mate. You've been tremendous. You've been a good friend over the years, although we've kicked lumps out of each other. Respect to you and your team, mate. Thanks very much. To our boys, what a night we're going to have tonight. Huh? You've been superb all year. The coaching staff, Ernie and the boys, have given us every opportunity to succeed, and I think we've delivered. Thanks very much. And finally, the biggest thanks of all, from myself, the whole team, the coaching staff, goes to everyone here today and throughout the season. Thank you very much.
Well, I know this may be difficult, but please keep your applause going as we welcome the entire team and their officials onto the stage as champions. Michael Theoklitos. Daniel Pikowski. Mark Burns. Steve Pantelides. Michael Ferrante. Fred. Danny Alsop. They call him Mr. High Five, Archie Thompson. Vince Lear. Roddy Vargas. Goal scorer tonight, Christian Sarkis. Adrian Caceres. Adrian Leia. Simon Story. Grant Brebner. Alessandro. Eugene Galekovic. James Robinson. Lee Broxham. Anton Kovacic. Their football manager, Gary Cole. Goalkeeper coach, Steve Mortone. Sports science, Anita Pedrana. Assistant coach, Aaron Healy. And their coach, Ernie Merrick. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to call forward the Prime Minister, Mr. John Howard, and the CEO of Hyundai Motors Australia, Mr. Steve Yeo, to present the 2007 Hyundai Trophy to their champions and captain, Kevin Muscat, and coach, Ernie Merrick. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your champions, Melbourne Victory!
Delvey from Fox Sports with a presentation. Kevin Muscat and his brave soldiers from the Melbourne Victory, the champions of Australia, and didn't they do it in style? Take a bow, my friends, because that was quite some performance. Rejoining me, Mike Cockrell and Miron Blyberg. Mike, you've been watching football in Australia ever since Adam was a boy.